investigative department. I sent him to Dublin to discuss with Peter Fitzgerald. And a couple of weeks later, after we had collected evidence, we invited one of Peter Fitzgerald's investigators to come to Monteverde to discuss their findings with our findings. So we had contacts, and it was amazing. He did a terrific job.
And he had enough elements, maybe even at that step with a short period, to convince the Security Council to issue the resolution 1595?
I think that was the reason, and of course that helped immensely with the investigation. So as much as I appreciate the abilities of the Lebanese security forces and the internal security forces and the justice department, I don't think they would have been able to launch an investigation into the assassination of Prime Minister Hariri like the UN had. Yes. The UN had again qualified investigators coming from all over the world, thus being a guarantee for neutrality. And of course, I mean, a lot of money is involved in this investigation. Millions of dollars are being spent. So, yes.
But it needs a lot more.
It needs a lot more, of course. Yeah, money is not everything, you're right. But I think it was the right decision to have this to have this investigation.
Mm-hmm. If we need to point out on some maybe measures that you took during that period, or maybe that were taken after, according maybe to some advice of yours, are you content today with the arrest of the 4 Lebanese officers?
Of course. Again, I didn't do this investigation myself. Upon suggestion of my investigators, I recommended to the Lebanese authorities to put these 4 officers into provisional detention, because we had indications, strong indications, that they were about to leave the country. On the one hand side, on the other hand side, we had indication that they were actively involved with the murder, so we felt we had to suggest to put them into provisional detention to have them available, and not one in I don't know, in China, the other one in Morocco, the third one somewhere else. So that was fully legal within international law, within Lebanese law. Yet we always pointed out that until these persons were sentenced by a tribunal, they have to be considered as being innocent. But for the time I was there, which means until January 2006, their arrest was legally, fully justified. What happened afterwards, I don't know. Of course, if you have someone in provisional detention, you have to check all the time if it's legally appropriate. But I have never seen an official UN recommendation to release these suspects.
There is no UN recommendation to release the 4 generals, and it's you consider that it is legal for the Lebanese judge to keep them arrested, because you know this question is causing too much maybe contest from the side of their attorneys, and the families, they consider it illegal, as and they maybe rely on some report issued in Switzerland concerning the human rights, and it's against the law and things like that. So what can you respond?
Well, I mean, in a case like this, you always have some group, whatever, who claim you are arresting innocent people. I wish certain groups would have cared about the people who were arrested before by, well, I would say the old regime in Lebanon. But anyhow, to answer your question, I can only speak of the time I was there. At that time, it was legal. Well, I didn't have a chance to observe much because I don't know how the investigation went on.
Yes, but if it's a decision taken by the Lebanese judge, for example, to keep them for so long arrested, is it considered legal?
As far as my knowledge of Lebanese law goes, if a judge thinks it is legal, and I have full faith and confidence into the Lebanese judicial system. The people I met there, be it General Prosecutor Mirza, be it Investigative Judge Elias Eid, I think during my time they did a good job.
But
professional
Judge
job.
Elias Eid is not on the head of this case anymore.
I know, but I can only speak for the time I was there, and there we had an excellent cooperation.
So if another judge who replaced him is still convinced that they must be kept in jail, you consider it a legal measure?
No, I don't. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be legal. I mean, you have a in Lebanon you have a democracy, you have parliamentary control of the judiciary, you have judges and prosecutors having taken the oath. So I have no idea why this should be illegal. And may I add, not as an example, but as something which happens here in Germany, the person, the suspect who got extradited from Lebanon on the Labelle case, it took us 7 years to have the punishment final and legally final. So he was provisionally detained for 7 years, and he complained to the European Court of Human Rights, and this court, in a verdict on that issue, said in that specific case, difficult case, serious crime, it is legal to have someone in provisional detention for 7 years. So.
Maybe because he was judged later, but some consider that these generals are only suspects.
Of course, they are suspects. I mean, if legally a person is a suspect until he's finally sentenced. So this Palestinian I was talking about, he was a suspect for 7 years.
Okay.
So that's basically a legal issue. But of course, each case is different.
It's different. Jamil Sayed's lawyer, he filed a suit against you before the Lebanese courts in which he accuses you of inventing crimes and providing proof full of lies. Are you ready for this trial?
The Americans have a wonderful word for this, which I'm not going to use because we're on public TV, so I would just say this is totally inaccurate.
So you detain some informations that...
What? No, this is pretty stupid, this allegation.
Some others are blaming you for building up some unreliable witnesses. What do you say today about Hussam and Mohammed Zuhair al-Siddiq?
Well, they are like Sadiq. When we first questioned him,